There was a guy on a motorcycle, and he had a T-shirt on, and it said, "Kick me in the butt." And I said, "Do you know what that says?" He says, "Yeah, it says I like trees or something like that." So I asked Penny, "What's it mean?" He gave me the shirt. It means, how do you say it in Chinese? Yin guo. Yin guo. Guo. Cause and effect. Okay? Share the cleanse with other people, it will work for you. Okay? Alright. I want to do the text, okay? Because we're getting behind. So Nick, it's Potoe Chungna. Okay. The next paragraph, yeah. Potoe Chungna Sangye Chen Pa Mitamba Mawa Jumana. So there was a Kadamba named Potoa, early Tibetan Buddhist, and somebody came to him and said, "I don't believe there was a Buddha." It's like people who say there's no landing on the moon. It was all from a TV studio or something like that. Then he said, "De la Geshe ki tabze de." Then the Geshe tabze. Tabze means skillful means. Tab kepa, tabzepa. Okay, it means tricky. He gave him a tricky Dharma teaching. He said, "Ona kerangi pa me tu na kongyang machung." I know about your grandfather. His grandfather was famous. His name was Tu Nagong. And he said, "So I'm sorry to hear your grandfather didn't exist." Okay, Yang Machung. De chung de shakpe langje di yigri di she. Then the guy got offended. And he said, "Don't say my grandfather didn't exist. He was famous. And we have these letters that he wrote, famous letters that he wrote." Then Potoa said, "Okay, Rikpa Gotsung." Say Rikpa Gotsung. So we should record that as a word. Okay, Rikpa Gotsung is a logic term. It means parallel reasoning. Parallel reasoning. Oh, your grandfather must have existed because the letters, the great letters he wrote are still in your family, right? Yes. Well, then the Buddha existed too, because we have great things that he wrote. Okay, got it? It's called parallel logic. Shindu Riba Gotsung. Sangye Jembe Changje Di. Chakje means footprint, handprint. Okay, what do you call it? The footprint left behind by the Buddha is Sungra. These beautiful books, 990 teachings by the Buddha still exist in Tibetan. Direct teachings like Diamond Cutter Sutra, 990. And 3,700 others from India, okay? And some great ones from China also, okay? Shine Ke Sangye Jember Yiche Pa Jungso. Then the guy changed his mind. Okay, I accept Buddha came to this world. Okay? But I think it's good to be honest and say, I didn't see a Buddha yet. Okay? Monk or nun. One of the worst things a monk or nun could do, pampashi, the 4 big bad deeds. One of them is to lie about your spiritual life. Or to imply to people, they say, "Are you an Arya?" And you're like, "Well, I'm not supposed to say." Then you imply that you are. Okay, so the biggest lie you can make in Buddhism is about your spiritual level. Okay, so we have to be careful not to imply that we reached a level that we haven't reached. Okay, that's a big bad karma. Okay. What's it called? Anyway, okay. Nipa dupe lapjani. So we had negative. What do you call it? Refuge vows. Negative refuge vows. I think we had 3 so far. Yeah, 1 for Buddha, 1 for Dharma, 1 for Sangha. Once you've taken refuge in the Buddha. Yeah, don't take lower refuges, okay? Once you've taken refuge in the Dharma, Don't hurt anybody. Once you've taken refuge in the Sangha, yeah, don't get real close to people who think this is not practical. Okay? Okay. Now, positive guidelines, okay? Nipa Dube Labjani. Positive now, refuge vow number 1. Dambo Sangit ga Kyabsu Songwe ni Shitting le. Shitting is called Suhar Leka in Sanskrit, and it means the letter to a friend, written by Nagarjuna. Okay. And by the way, there's a couple of letters to friends in the Tengyur, but this is the most famous. By the way, if you want to teach a short Lamrim, that's a great book to teach. And Rinpoche, my Lama, translated it with my enemy, Art Engel. Just kidding, not. He's smarter than me, and his Tibetan is much better than mine, and his Sanskrit is 10 times better than mine, so I don't like him, okay? I'm just being honest. But I got over it because I moved away for 20 years. Okay. If you can't overcome a bad habit, just leave the place. When you go back, it will come back. Okay. Jita deshe kusuk shingle kyang gipa chinda yang rung kepe chut. So even a Buddha image made of wood, okay, a cheap one, wise people will still respect it. And we talked about it, that any Buddha image you see, ultimately it came from someone who saw the Buddha in the past, okay? So respect any Buddha image. I'm not so crazy about Buddha images from Thailand. They all have this kind of, but I respect them, okay? So try to respect them. Okay, Chesum Batar Sangye Kusuk Gyu Dan Soyup. This Gyu, which normally means cause, means material from which something is made. So about 3% of the time, Gyu means the substance used for the sculpture. Okay, something like that. Soyup Ngemba means lousy, what do you call it? The sculptor made a super ugly Buddha, okay? Sculptor was not so skilled. Ngemba tabudang, satsakang nan de chakdum yenche la sangye nguki dushin jogga. Satsakang means Dharma garbage bin. In Tibet, they would build a small, like our pump house in the valley, or those outhouses, they would build a small adobe building, and if you have an old painting, or you have a Buddha, the broken arm, we're not allowed to throw them in the garbage. So these are spiritual garbage shed. And you can throw old Dharma things in there, like old Geshe Michael ACI course stuff that you don't want anymore. Okay, somebody I knew was living in a tent. They said, Geshe-la, stop making courses. I don't have any place to sleep in my tent. Okay? Satsakang nangi changdum. Changdum means broken pieces of Buddhas or tankas, okay? Yenche la sangye nguki dushe jok. When you see a statue or when you see a painting, you should treat it as if it was the Buddha. Okay? You should treat it as if it was a High Lama. Okay? Even the painting. So there's all this etiquette about paintings, and you're not supposed to pick them up by the head. You're supposed to roll them up carefully. By the way, when you roll it up, you're not allowed to touch the paint part. You roll it up this way from the edges. You're not allowed to roll it from the middle. You see, there's all this etiquette about not hurting the painting, okay? And it's interesting, in Tibetan, when we go to a temple, we say chunja. which means you don't say, I'm going to look at the paintings. You say, I'm going to meet the Buddha. You see, so you think of the images as a Buddha, and you don't think, they're not normal. Somebody saw Buddha in the lineage. Somebody who painted this, the painter of the painter of the painter of the painter of the painter. Somebody saw Buddha. So these are very karmically powerful, and you have to treat them carefully, okay? So don't get sloppy with your statues and stuff. Don't put peanut butter sandwich on top of your Buddha head. No, I've seen some weird stuff, okay? People use it to hang their coat, you know. Don't do stuff like that, okay? Treat them as if they are atomic bombs. You know, like, whoa, I got a statue in my house, whoa. Okay, keep it clean. Okay, Rinpoche had a feather duster, and he would spend a couple hours in the temple. I said, what are you doing in there? You know, he said, Chinja, I'm meeting the Buddhas. He liked to hang out with the images more than me. I don't know why. Okay. Sangye Nguki Dushi means think of them as the Buddha themselves. Think of the statue or painting as a Buddha. Okay. And treat them that way. Okay. Rangre Gyagar Lima Dang Sangser Sokikula Deba Chil Cheching Lakangi Puk to Shak. Puk means the inner sanctum. Sometimes you can call Gunkang. Every Galupa monastery, major monastery, has a temple, and inside the temple there's a secret room called Gunkang, and that's where they keep the tantric deities. And in Serame, there's a prayer that goes on there 24 hours. It never stops, ever, for, I don't know, 400 years or something. There's always 4 or 5 monks in there praying for the monastery, you know, day and night. There's what do you call it? Shifts. We take shifts. So then in the Gunkang, people tend to put the most valuable statue by material. If it's gold, they keep it in there. If it's bell metal, they keep it in there. There's a beautiful statue of Rinpoche, full size, in the Gunkang at Serame, in the secret room at my monastery. If you ever go there, behind the altar there's a secret room. And there's a full-size clay statue of Rinpoche there. I was there when they made it. It was kind of cool. Okay. Sangser Soki Kula Deba Chip Chip. So we tend to have more faith for the expensive statues than the cheap statues. And that's a sign that you don't understand a statue, okay? So every statue of the Buddha, even the ones they sell in the garden stores to keep, you know, they buy them from Thailand and people just use them to plant the bulbs on them and stuff. We should still treat them with respect, okay? Okay. Jimbale Chepa Sala Debachung. Then if they find a statue made of clay, they think that's not so spiritual, because it's not as expensive. Okay, that's a wrong idea. Changdum Songwa Tabuni Chira Sokshu Shakne Namshit Satsukandu Kyawa Dendayu. Then if you have an image that you have to throw out, be careful not to throw it in the garbage. Don't mix Dharma garbage with other garbage. So, I don't know, the schedule, I had the schedule for, I had Melissa's list of donations to make. So that's Dharma garbage. After you make your $20,000 donation, don't throw that paper away on the ground or something like that. Like, treat it, Dharma people have 2 sets of garbage, like recycling bin and Dharma bin, okay? Then Rinpoche would always burn his Dharma garbage. He wouldn't, you know, he would burn it once a month or something like that. So we're not supposed to mix old retreat schedules with garbage or something like that. Okay. All right. Satakan kunda chiro to kill di rangi sanam chir kyawa. he makes a joke. Somebody asked me, did this Lama make jokes? He did. They're kind of Tibetan jokes, okay? You tell a Tibetan joke to an American, they're like, if you throw Dharma into the garbage, you are throwing your good karma away also. Okay, he said that. Shane Lama Koma Namsum. Lamas of the past said that. Okay, one more sentence. Deshin du kutang sok kyang ningba na kongsham tel te melong dil ne jokpa sok rangi konjal na tegu mepa. People with old tankas, old paintings, they tend to take off the silk, which is valuable, and they treat the painting as not valuable. They keep the silk and make something out of it, and they throw away the painting. So don't try to treat them both with respect. Okay. This is a sign that the roots of your karma inside of you are rotten. Okay, you should treat the whole thing with respect. Okay. All right. Sorry? Say again?
They want to ask questions.
Oh, Wenty. Tonight. By the way, so we're going to stop there for the Lamriam. I'm sorry we took so long on the food, but I think it's important. So you can be healthy. Your mind gets more clear. If you do that fast, you will find your mind is much clearer. It took me many attempts to be successful. Like I gave up many times in the past. So keep trying. It won't always be successful right away. There's debate at 4 o'clock. Come, okay? It's cool. We're gonna have fun. And at 5:30, there's review groups. We didn't prepare any special review groups. So what I suggest is just go to the Jetsun Center, sit down with your friends, make a plan for May that we did this morning, okay? Like, make a plan, or just take a rest, okay? We get evaluations every retreat. I think you're doing them, when? You did them already? At 1 o'clock you were supposed to do them. Anyway, we actually read them, and we have meetings about them, and a lot of people said the schedule was too tight, and it felt too tight. So we're going to give you a break. Okay, because you're also getting up early, hopefully. So 5:30 to 6:45, meet with your friends, discuss your plans if you want. If you just want to goof off, okay? Goof off time. All right then.